What's up, guys? I'm Dwayne,
I'm Alicia.
and we are Blackboard Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there.
Waiting to be played by you and yours.
I'm a simple man, don't wanna complication.
Today, we're going to talk about a game that has Alicia and I going up against each other in a more direct arena. And that game is called Land versus Sea.
Land vs. Sea was designed by Jon-Paul Jacques and published by Good Games Publishing.
Let's go to the table for an overview of how this game is played. Land vs. Sea is a tile laying game for 2 to 4 players where competing players are building out a map while trying to complete areas of land or areas of sea. To set up the game, the players are first going to choose who's going to play land and who's going to play sea. And then they're going to take their corresponding score tokens and place them on the 0 spot of the scoreboard, which is built into the bottom of the game box. And they're going to place this off to the side of the play area, but they're going to place it where the players can see the icon key right there. Then we're going to find the starting tile and place that in the middle of the play area. We're going to find the Whirlpool Volcano tile and place that off to the side. And then we're going to take the other 58 tiles and give them a good shuffle and then place them in 2 stacks right there. And we're going to place those off to the side in reach of all players. And then starting with the land player, because the land player is always going to go first, each player is going to draft 2 tiles. So at the most, you can always have 2 tiles in your possession. And then the game can begin. So the object of the game is for the players to complete areas of land or areas of sea, with the player that's playing land getting 1 point per tile in a completed land area, and the player that's playing sea getting 1 point per tile in a completed sea area. Now, when drafting these tiles, all these tiles are double-sided. So the rules say that when you draft a tile, you want to keep the other side hidden from the other player. So there's a bit of limited information going on in this game. So, like I said, land always goes first. So land has this tile, and he decides that he's going to place this here. Now, when placing a tile, you have to make sure one side is connected to an existing tile, but you also got to make sure land matches land and sea matches sea. So he can't be placing this here, trying to get 1 point. He has to make sure that land matches land. So he decides to place that there. Then he drafts a tile back up to his 2 tile limit. Then play goes over to C. C decides they want to play this one, so they're going to place that there. Now pay attention to these X's. I'll tell you what those mean in a minute. So now they draw back up to 2, and then land comes back. Land says, hey, I'm going to put this here. All right. Here comes C. C decides, okay, I'm going to place that there. So now there's a completed land area. Now remember, I told you that for every completed land area, land gets the points. But C completed this. So why did he just give land some points? Well, these X's here, and that includes these X's here too, all the X's, if they're inside a completed land area or sea area, they give bonus points to the player that completed it. So being that C completed this land area, C is going to get 5 bonus points. So in this scenario, land is getting 5 points for each tile. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you get those points immediately. And then C is going to get 5 points. Now, if land had placed this tile here, then land would get 5 points for the completed land area and the 5 bonus points. So that would have gave him 10 points. There are some tiles that when played out onto the map that will give you a special action. So if a player played the tile with this symbol on it, that allows you to play a second tile that same turn. So usually you only get to play one tile per turn. This one will let you play that second tile that you have in your possession. This tile here allows you to steal a tile from another player. So you might see a tile that they have that like, ooh, that might work out for me. So you play this tile and then take the tile of your choice from their possession. So there is a little bit of take that in this game. So that's pretty much all the players are doing. They're drafting tiles and they're placing it out onto this ever-growing map, trying to complete land areas and sea areas. So if we looked at the board now, there's a sea area here that's completed, and that would have scored C 2 points. But then there's this big sea area that's completed. And we're hoping that land completed this, because at least he would have got the bonus points. Because if C completed this, that pretty much won them the game. But there's one more thing to mention. If ever a tile is placed where there's a hole in the middle of the map that's completely surrounded by land, or if it's completely surrounded by sea, then no regular tile can fit into that hole. So we would take that whirlpool volcano tile and place it into that hole. So of course it's land, so we would take the volcano side, place it right in there, and that has 5 bonus points in there. But this area isn't completed yet, so whoever completes this will get the 5 bonus points that's represented on that tile. And that's just the base game. Once you've gotten used to playing the base game, there are a couple of scoring options you can add to make the game more complex. So one of them is the mountains and coral. So if you look at these tiles, they have coral reefs, and they also have mountain ranges. So as you can see, I have some coral reefs and mountain ranges all on the board already. So whenever a coral reef is placed next to a tile with a connected coral reef, then the C player, doesn't matter who played it, the C player would get points. So as you can see, there's 2 coral reefs connected to each other. So the C player has already gotten 2 points for that. But if future he places this one, then no matter who plays it, the C player would get 3 points right away. Same with the mountain ranger. Let's say this one got placed. Let's work that around. There we go. There's a mountain range, so it doesn't matter who plays it, the land player would get 2 victory points. Another scoring opportunity that can be added to this game is with the caravans and the ships. Now, you see this tile up here that has a ship on it? If a player places a tile that has either a ship or a caravan adjacent to that tile, they created a trade route and they would score 2 points immediately. So for example, land decides to play this tile and it has a caravan on it. They play that tile here and they created a trade route. So they're going to get 2 points immediately. Say on C's turn, they decide to play this one and it has a caravan on it. They play this here. They just enclose an area of C. So that's going to score them 3 points, 1 point per tile. But they also added this caravan to that trade route. So that's going to score them 2 points. So this move here scored them 5 points. The thing is, trade routes are also scored at the end of the game. And you look at every trade route, and if that trade route has more caravans than ships, then land will score 1 point for each ship and caravan in that trade route. And the same if it was the opposite, where it was more ships than caravans, then C would score. So if this game ended now, land would score 3 points for this trade route. So on a future turn, it probably, C will probably want to place this, and it has a ship. They decide to place this up here. So now they just scored 2 points. And when there's an even number of ships and caravans in a trade route, when it's scored at the end of the game, nobody gets any points. Gameplay will continue with the players placing tiles out onto the map, completing areas of land or areas of sea until there are no more tiles to be taken and the last tile has been placed out onto the map. Since this is the base game, we will look at the points, and whoever has the most points will be the winner of Land versus Sea. This game came out of nowhere for me.
How did you find out about it?
So, Gen Con was a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And I was paying attention to all the Gen Con coverage,
Yes.
trying to see what games were coming out.
Yes.
And I, found out about this game through Jesse Anderson from the Quackalope channel.
Okay.
I watch his channel a lot. And, he was talking about how he was impressed by this game.
So when he mentioned it, it put it on your radar.
Yeah, it was there. I was like, I want to find out more about this game.
Okay.
And so when I happened to be in my local board game store, they were just putting it out on the shelf, and I scored a copy. It's like, give me that game.
Okay.
So yeah, I was happy to get that.
Okay. Okay.
So let's go straight through it. What did you think about the theme of this game?
Okay, so I was actually neutral about the theme, land versus sea. That didn't capture me, honestly. I mean, it didn't repel me, obviously.
Right.
But it didn't draw me in either. So I was like, okay, I didn't know what to think.
Yeah, the theme is just land versus sea. So, I mean, one of the reasons I got it, because I saw that you're building out a map.
Okay.
And I know how you feel about maps.
Okay.
So I was like, she might like this one.
Okay.
Okay. So what do you think about the components?
All right. So the components are pretty simple. It's basically tiles, and they're very sturdy and well done. So there are not a lot of components, but they work for the game.
Yeah. I mean, what I like about it is they built the scoreboard into the bottom of the box.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the way it's in there, it helps keep the tiles from being all over in the box.
Yeah.
So I do like that. And I like the little scoring tokens.
Yes.
So I like that.
Yeah, that is cool.
What do you think about the art?
I love the art.
You like the art?
Oh my goodness.
Why?
First of all, it does make me think of an old world map.
Yeah.
The colors, the simple colors, the turquoise blue and the sand colored land. So it's just so simplistic as far as the colors. I love that. It just has an old world map feel. It's quirky.
It is. Have you looked closely at some of the scenes on that map?
Yes.
I mean, they got a pirate ship, a ship that's being attacked by a kraken.
Yes.
They got some humanoid rabbits that are armored up, and they're fighting a sea creature.
So yeah.
It's some fantasy scenes on there.
Yeah.
And I like fantasy. Don't get me wrong. But I was sitting there like, you're right. It is quirky.
It's quirky.
It's unique.
It's quirky. It's unique. And it just has that old world map vibe for me. So I really love the colors of the art, the contrast of the sand, the land, and the sea. And yeah, I love the quirkiness of the scenes. So.
Oh, okay. I'm kind of surprised by that.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So the mechanics is just tile land.
Yes.
So what did you think about the gameplay?
Oh my goodness. I actually really enjoyed it. First of all, I like it. It feels like a giant jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, it did. It does feel like a jigsaw puzzle.
Because in a jigsaw puzzle, you have to make sure the pieces fit. So in land versus sea, you have to make sure you're matching land to land and water to water. So I love that aspect of it. But also, I love building. I
Yeah,
just like
it was
that.
fun building out that map.
Yes, building out that map. So those two things together really made an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, I mean, it did. Our first game, it did feel like we were just doing a jigsaw puzzle, and we were trying to figure out how this is going to work. I mean, I pretty much forgot that we were supposed to be competing against each other, and I did like that aspect. But once we got to our second game, our gloves was off. I'm like, now that we got the feel of this game, now it's on the war. So I really enjoyed the gameplay of this game.
Yeah, I enjoyed the gameplay.
So, what do you think about the teach?
All right. So, because it's actually pretty easy to teach and learn. Because all you're doing is matching water to water and land to land. It's actually a family weight game as far as learning how to play it.
But once you get past that,
now being strategic in placing those tiles, that's a whole nother matter.
yeah, that complexity of this game. I mean, I had to keep reminding myself that these tiles are double sided.
Yes.
So I'm sitting up here looking at like, where can I place this? Where can I place this? And like, oh yeah, I got stuff on the other side. And then even though that gives me more options, I feel that it adds a little bit more to complexity, because now you're wondering, well, how can I score points? Can I place this tile here? Now my focus is like them 4 tiles, and now I'm trying to figure out, okay, what is the best way I can use these tiles?
Okay, so see, I don't have his supersonic math brain, so it's not that complex for me. I literally pick 2 tiles that look cool to me, and I figure out where they gonna fit. Cause I can't think about too much. It's hard for me. So what I do is I focus on, I'm trying to close in this, and so but yeah, the complexity is there. Even though it's simple, it has a level of complexity that makes the gameplay interesting.
Oh, okay. So overall, what did you think about this game?
Okay, I love this game. I love building my map. I feel like I'm building a map. I love like if that jigsaw puzzle feel to it. I love the complexity, and he told me about the
added scoring options.
I told him he can do that with his gaming group.
Right.
I'm not ready for all of that yet. But yes, it's interesting. And what I like is he pointed out, this is one of the few games where we're directly playing head to head. So that part was actually fun too.
Yeah, it was fun. I finally get a chance to do a little bit of cash talking.
Yeah.
But she kind of cutthroat.
I'm not cutthroat.
We got to the end of the last game. Okay. I had 1 tile left. She had 2. She plays a tile that allows her to take my tile. I had 1 tile. That means she gets to play 3 tiles in a row, and I could do nothing about it.
He still won the game. Let's just say that.
I only won by 2.
Okay, but I wasn't paying attention to that. I was just trying to close in my area, and that happened to be the most advantageous way to do it.
Does that sound cutthroat? I mean, let me know in the comments. Does that sound cutthroat to you? Because that's what I'm hearing. Anyway, so that's how we feel about Land versus Sea. We both really like this game. If you like the contents of this video, hey, hit that like button. If you're feeling real generous, hit that subscribe button. you know, let us know what you think in the comments. Check this game out. I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
We are Blackboard Gaming.
We will see you next time.